loves, Hasina here with a new chat. Today I think we're gonna do a get ready with me. I don't think, I know. We're gonna do a get ready with me. As you can see, I don't have any makeup on. And I don't know what I'm gonna do makeup wise. So there might be some wiping off, there might be some restarting. I don't know, we'll see. I'm hoping it works out well because I do want to try out some different things. And I'm gonna chat with you. For things that are not relevant or are not important, I'm certainly gonna edit it out of this video because I'm not great at moving very quickly when I do my makeup, and I don't want to put you guys through that like I normally do. So yeah, let's talk about some stuff. Let's see if it actually becomes a topic or if it just becomes a random conversation. Who knows? We'll see. Let's have fun and let's go. Okay. Noise in my town right now is kind of outrageous. I don't know why. So we're gonna ignore. Today I wanted to try the glue method on my brows. You know, people use a glue stick to get rid of the brow, but I want to see if I can do it and just take off part of the brow. And see if I can do some stuff. We're gonna find out right now, my loves. We are going to find out right now. A holiday just passed, and I ate a lot, unabashedly, a lot. But it was cool, you know, quiet, you know, not trying to get anyone unwell. So I hope you guys had a good holiday. I hope you, not to be that person, but acknowledge, well, to be that person, but acknowledge really a holiday, its origins, and honor the people who are in mourning on this holiday. You know, how to stop pretending. I think it's really important. I think we can see right now, as passed with the past election, how important it is not to pretend, how it can be very harmful for your well-being. So I'm putting this glow stick on here. We are gonna see, my loves. So I don't want a lot of shit on my face, you know, like when you have like the flakiness. I've never done this, so I don't know. Yeah, because I do see some stuff, and maybe I'm not supposed to be constantly touching it. Who's to say? Who's to say? I wanted to do it actually because I had wanted to do a Halloween look, and then life happened and I did not do the Halloween look, and then I thought I was going to do it the following week, and I did not. So, you know, what are you going to do? I can do it at some point. There's always time for creativity, right? That should be a shirt, right? There's always time for creativity. But alas, today won't be that day. I have thoughts. I always have thoughts. I have plenty of thoughts. And I decide whether or not I want to share them. What are the weird happenings or silly happenings that have occurred since the last time I talked to you guys? Or maybe not even the last time, but maybe recent. People are something. I'm a huge observer, and sometimes I don't have to observe. Sometimes it's just coming to me directly. I had a random person I don't really know again talk to me about a random topic. I'm trying not to give it all away, but and when I said I wasn't interested in it, they were like, oh, you probably just don't understand because, you know, like, I'm grown, I'm such and such age, younger than me, and and you know, you being, you know, a woman in your mid-20s, you just don't know. And I let them just talk, and I didn't clarify shit. I was just like, how do you say all these things and assume all these things without asking anyone anything? I'm like, I'm going to be 40 in slightly over a month. And because I don't have an interest in some of the things that you're saying right now, that means that's because I'm a child. And also assuming that all people that are in their mid-20s are children and don't have sense, and that you are the holder of all the knowledge. It's just like, humans, who are they? Why are they? Yeah, why? Why? And I'm not even saying, just so it's not, you don't think it's a humble brag, I do not look that age. It was just, I post sometimes highly filtered photos, and that one, the one I had was like super filtered for like Halloween theme, so I guess I look more like a cartoon than a person. I don't know. I'm trying to make excuses for this person, because I want to think they're better than maybe they might be. And we all make mistakes, but it was just kind of gross, and based on the commentary, a little misogynistic and a little Hotepian. But what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? So I'm going to powder this. I think I'm supposed to do that. Powder this and then put a little foundation on it, because I think I gave it enough time to dry with my nonsensical, just boring random story that you guys are waiting to hear. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pause. One side is more like, I don't know, it feels like pilly, I guess that's a word, like not as smooth. And I do have very, very dark eyebrows, so I have a couple of hairs shining through, but we'll see if it's salvageable. This is my first time really like even playing with it, so I'm not really interested in it being perfect, because that's not really the main point. This is not a tutorial really. This is me talking about some things and talking about some makeup. So we'll see what we can do with this, right? Yeah, it's been an interesting year for all of us. I wish so much more peace in the coming new year, and that we don't forget what we've been through, so that we can have some understanding for each other. I think that's one thing that I feel is very scary about us, especially us as American people. Our attention spans, our memory, we forget so quickly and end up in the same scenarios over and over again. And how I pray and wish for us that we don't do it again this time. I really, really hope and pray that we don't, and hope that we recognize how devastating this year has been for a lot of people. We talk online all the time about how, people think this is a game, but I think people don't understand the weight of it. And when you don't understand the weight of something, you start kind of like pretending that it's not so. And I think that's one of the most harmful things that we do, that we feel like we need so much evidence in order to do the decent thing. Decent's a weird word. Is it decent? Like, I don't think it's decency. I think it's supposed to be normal to care about someone other than yourself, but we've been groomed out of that. And so, it's very hard for people to even consider doing. Yeah, if this doesn't work out, I'm just gonna wipe it off. I'm not that stressed about it. I think you live and you learn. I think those are one of the tough things about, YouTube videos and stuff. Sometimes you don't we always, well, not YouTube videos, anything actually, we always show the final product or close to final product, and we don't show how many tries it takes to really get what we're doing right, you know, and it makes it really hard for people who need to know that they're not fucking up, you know. I also do this because, like, I see a lot of makeup people and they just take off their whole brow, and I don't have enough brow for that. You're taking it off and drawing it back on, because I might wait for that grow back one day and it don't happen. So, you know, it would be nice if this was an option where you don't have to cut off your eyebrows in order to get a look that you want, or a look to experiment with, because I don't know if this is a look that I actually want. I just want to have the experience. Isn't that all we're doing? Always. Just trying to experience life. I'm turning 40. And I'm grateful. There are many moments where I wasn't sure I was going to get to it. I mean, and acknowledging day to day that it's a gift, even when it doesn't feel like one. But man, I don't know, you know, TV, everything, they tell you it's like it's such a big deal. I felt the same thing, like when I turned 30, it's supposed to be this big deal, and it feels so harrowing, and it's like, it's a thing that happens. We live, hopefully, luckily, you know. So I'm grateful. I wish that 40 didn't sound so old to people, because I don't feel that old, you know. I've said it in, I think, old videos too. I've never felt more old than when I was like 17. I was just like exhausted with life, and it barely began. Because my fun was supposed to come later. I'm going to believe that and stick to that belief. You know. But I will say, I don't know, what could I say about the 30s? Still, like, can I be honest? Like, first half, really fucking fun. Really cool. And stressful. Super stressful, super fun, and really cool. Second half, hard as fuck. Hard as fuck. All the things I didn't know about myself. My body was like, hey, you want to learn something new? And it's going to freak you out? And you're not going to know what to do with that information? Yeah, let's do that. We're going to do that. So yeah. Fucking hard. Fucking scary. Still, and this is crazy because it's like the sickest I ever was. The most turmoil I felt like I was in, and still went and traded for the 20s. So that's really like saying a lot about 20s. Like, and I had a lot of fucking fun in the 20s, but still. So that's saying a lot. If anybody is in their 20s and feeling concerned, yeah, it definitely gets better. So I'm hoping I'm on an upward swing as I approach 40. Because I learned so much. I learned that I know myself, and I also don't know a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. I'm like talking and also looking to see what's happening with these brows. Like, everything you thought you loved, everything you thought was fun, everything that you thought would interest you, one day you're like, nah, don't like that. And it's crazy and no one tells you. And maybe it doesn't happen to everyone, but damn, it happened to me. I was like, no, I'm gonna do this thing that I love doing all the time. And everything inside me was like, no, we don't like that anymore. And I was like, huh? What? We don't like that anymore, Hasina. Hey, Hasina. We, Hasina, just want to tell you we don't like that anymore. And it's like, okay, this is weird. This is scary. This is scary. Don't know what to do with that information. This information is probably going to depress me a little bit. Don't know what to do about that. And you just like living it. And you just, the thing that really helped was just trying out shit. Trying out shit. And letting your body tell you. And forgetting, because let me tell you, I would forget that, like, hey, know that you're going to like keep trying that thing that you no longer like, because that's all you know. And that's okay. That is super duper 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 okay. You know? Because I was just like shook, like, who the fuck am I? Who am I? This person who always knows who she is does not have a fucking clue. And that is bonkers, y'all. It feels so crazy. So I guess I'm telling you guys some things I think about what 30s were like. As like, I guess I'm doing a review. The amount of surrender. The amount of surrender that you need. Unbelievable. And if you do not surrender easily, how it's gonna fucking hurt. Lord have mercy. I've been doing these eyebrows forever, so I'm going to wrap up my brows and come back. So I did my face makeup because I don't know time, and time I take too long to do my makeup and do a video. I take long on a regular day. So I figured it made sense to just do that and then play with shadow or whatever. So yeah, what I was saying about like the 30s review. I would say don't be resistant to the changes that your being wants to make on your behalf. Don't be resistant to the changes that your being wants to make on your behalf. Don't be resistant to the changes that your being wants to make on your behalf, because it's just going to be so much harder. And, you know, I try to be positive, but this is not to be positive. It's just the truth. It's in your best interest, and you probably can't see it. You know, how would you? But it is. It is really in your best interest to just try it. Just be willing to reintroduce yourself to yourself. And it's gonna happen time and time again. When I think about what I wanted and who I wanted to be, and how that's so much not in alignment with who I really am, and how it was really hard to not interpret that as a failure. Even right now, it's still very, very hard to not interpret that as a failure. You know? Because that's not how we are taught. That's not what we're made to understand. The biggest thing I would tell someone, a child, a teen, a young person, go fucking fail. Fail as fast and as hard as possible, as many times as necessary for you to feel okay. Because if you don't fail early, the way that it fucking kicks your ass older is just, I want to say unfair, but it's not unfair. It's just, it's shocking. It's shocking. And it's because you don't have enough experience doing it and knowing that that's a normal part of life. It is a normal part of life. You are supposed to fail. If you are not failing, you are not doing whatever it is that you may be really called to do. And whew, that's a kick in the ass, I tell you. I tell you. But, you know, the parts of the failing that work is that, like, you get to see the things you can't fucking see on your own. I'm like jumping up because it's so real. That you can't see any other way. That you can't see, like, the people who are not for you. That you can't see the situations, careers, connections, activities, actions, interactions, thoughts that are not for you. Because you're not allowing yourself to have space to pick yourself up. Now, and I'm saying this as a person who, like, even when I said it, I felt scared. Pick myself up. Because I'm not always certain I can. I have a good track record, but the lifting is fucking hard. Fucking hard, y'all. You know? And there's not enough conversation for that. I'm getting very serious about highlighter today. But seriously, like, I think about my own, like, nieces and nephews, and they're fantastic people, children, and I want them to know that it will always be okay if you fail. If you're not failing, you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And they don't have to always be big fails, but know that it's okay for them to have it. Do I think I did enough highlight? I'm going to show you something interesting. My way I can highlight this side of this face, I cannot highlight the same because they're two really different set eyes shapings. Like right here has a crink and this one has a lift. It's interesting. I thought it was. But yeah, let life show you what's not working for you anymore, what relationships aren't working for you. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you don't have to experience a betrayal to know that a betrayal is possible. And sometimes the only way to learn those things is to let your inner self show you what's working and what isn't working. And to know that it may not make sense, but it makes sense. It doesn't make the sense that we are familiar with, that we understand, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Because I had to learn that really, really abruptly and harshly. And I am better for it. You know, I didn't want that, and I'm better for it. Because I think there's always a theme, there's always something that you really, really know about yourself to be true. And if you stick to that, that's going to really show you what's working and what's not working. Like, I've always wanted to be the truest form of myself. The truest form of myself. And I know, like, when you start talking like this, it starts to sound like pretentious or ego-driven. I don't mean it that way. I would like it to not be interpreted that way, but you are free to interpret however you choose. Like, I, more than want to be someone's friend, lover, confidant, I want to know who I am in my truest self. And I've learned that, like, sometimes I've lost things because I knew quietly, I knew subconsciously that I couldn't be, I couldn't be, I couldn't be what I wanted to truly be in my heart and soul around those that I felt were closest to me. Sense discomfort, but it was, you know, something like unsaid, so it's just really hard to feel like you're right. You know, when you have an inkling that something's not right, but you ignore it. You ignore it because, you know, that's supposed to be whoever is important to you at the time. So you don't want to believe that, but that's the reality. That is the reality. And you can't see it, or don't see it, or don't want to see it. Understandably. But the gift in going through the experiences and honoring whatever your story is, the thing that means the thing to you, like my knowing myself truthfully, it will pull those things away even if you are unwilling to do it yourself. Even if you are unwilling to actively do it yourself. And while it didn't feel like a gift, it truly, truly was. And I'm so incredibly thankful for that, even on my loneliest of days, because I know when I have moments of loneliness, I still feel there's a quiet where that inkling was. There's a quiet where that discomfort was. And I am so, so thankful for that. And now I'm just working on having even more faith. That's another thing I think that came in my 30s, just having the most faith I've ever had in my life, just believing that things could be better. And mostly because they really, really weren't sometimes, you know? And that's the craziest part, but what a freaking gift, right? What a gift. I'm gonna finish these eyes off camera, and then I'll have some final thoughts. I guess he's got some final thoughts too. And then we'll wrap up, right? Okay, so I think someone should have did their lipstick before they put on their lashes, because they can barely see. And I don't know who that someone is. Could be me, who knows. I'm still letting them dry a little bit before I squeeze them together a bit more. I never wear lashes like this, and I actually barely wear lashes to begin with, but it's always fun to try something different. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I think it's really important to recognize that you are ever evolving and changing, and you will surprise yourself with the fact that you don't know everything about yourself, and that there are a lot more discoveries to be made. And that doesn't make you weird or strange. It makes you human, and it makes you someone who is doing what we're supposed to be doing here, living, existing, evolving, you know? And even if we don't see that in our outer lives, that doesn't mean that it's not a reality and that it's not important and that it's not necessary. You know, because I thought I had everything figured out, because I'm always figuring out, and I did not. And for a second I felt like my life was over, and it was not. You know, I'm gonna use a very dark color because I haven't tried it yet. I don't think it goes, but it goes because I want it to. What's really important is that you let yourself grow and change and shift. That you don't tie yourself down. Everybody else, everybody, friends, family, associates, they won't have a problem tying you down. Trust me. And by what I mean by tying you down, telling you who you are, expecting you to be the way you've always been. Being very resistant to you changing that in any way, shape, or form. So make sure you don't do it too. Please make sure you don't do it too. I mean, isn't it exciting to, while it's disruptful? I don't know. Disrupting, it's exciting that there's something else to learn. And it's from you. That's good. So yes, my loves, 30s are no joke, but they're good. They're good. They're worth it. And I'm looking forward to the 40s being even more awesome. And I am grateful. And I just want you to know it's okay. It's always okay. It's always okay. If you are here to say it's not okay, it is okay. And look for your peoples. Look for people who are having similar experiences to you. And I don't mean that in like trauma sharing or anything, but in just experiences, so you know that you're not alone. Even if they're only online for now. Be willing to see other things that are fun for you. Be willing to experience other things that are fun for you. Be willing to experience things until they are fun for you. Be willing to take chances, even if it's reluctantly. So that's it. Makeup done, chat done. I wish you a fantastic week, and we will talk soon. One love. Peace.